Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, May 13th. We are looking at Window Traders Market Profile, SPY IWMN triple Qs. So SPY ends down approximately, I'm going to say about $10 on the week. So another down week. But something changed here. We had a lot of great discussions in our room later in the day as we were just hanging around in L&M about what we could possibly see in the next week and even in the next weeks. The day did what I thought it would do, but it certainly stretched it more than I thought in I and J. And again, that's respecting how much these short-term traders and algos can move a market. When we used to have a $2 range, when you're looking for an afternoon pullback, you know, if it gets 20 cents, 25 cents below where you're thinking that's okay. But now you have to give that some room. So first off, I didn't think we would take out the B's low or even the single prints. But once we did, I thought it was a decent level to start the long. But you have to give this, because our ranges are so big, have to give it a lot more room. And it came in over $1.50 from A's high. Did well on it, but definitely put me in some heat. Before that trade, had a fantastic day. So excellent day overall. I did nothing but long this market. Could I have shorted it? Of course I could have. But with all the MGI and didn't think that the market would push as much as it did to the downside, I was just looking for longs. Thought we'd go back to POC, which we did. We got 9 wide. And we almost thought that we might even probe. Qs did probe, but barely. P-shape, for all of us, although it's kind of ugly for us, especially for us, we pushed down a little bit too much. Usually with a P-shape, you're not going to get that, but we did. I'll take it. So it was, once again, mostly short covering. But we did do one. The bulls accomplished one thing today. They stopped the one-time framing down the daily and put it in the 3-day balance. And once we go over all these charts, we're going to show you how they can take the next step and how these price vacuums are incredible on both sides of the market. I'm really, it's kind of silly to go over all my trades because all I did, I longed every time frame, A through A, B, C, D, E. The first 5 time frames I did nothing but long. Why? Because that was the market was telling me to do. And I didn't chase, and when I say that, I didn't buy A, B, I wasn't buying highs. Any pullback, I took longs. Twice in A, 3 times in B, especially with thinking we were going to have single prints. C, D, E. I thought we had a lowest accepted price where we open, well, at the time, only take out A closes, B goes down a little bit, goes up, and we don't see it again. Well, at the time, that was definitely holding, but obviously we took it back in J and K. I didn't do anything in F. I was eating. I took another long in G, small, thinking it might be the afternoon pullback low. I wasn't holding it. Did the same in H. I wasn't holding it. Now, the big trade I took, which became big because the market pulled back a lot more than I thought, when we started coming down in I, started some small longs, and I was getting that initial response back up. So I was taking them off. I only had 10 calls when I period ended, and I had made money on all the ones I had. But then J took out, we filled the single prints. J came down, took a 30 lot right away, which I probably shouldn't have done. I should have waited till at least B's low, see if we were going to get it. So we did get it, and we started going. So now I went from being long 40 calls to adding, and I put on, again, towards the low of J, using the opening as my out. And again, I'm not recommending this trade, but I got long upwards of 250 calls and started going right back up. Took a while, but got back up. Got everything back and more on that entire trade. Got everything back and more. And then took them back. I thought we had a chance, even in J, to start going back maybe to POC, but it wasn't doing it. Took them off. I had another chance to get long in K, but by that point, I had recycled. I have no idea how many calls for the day and had an excellent day and week. I wasn't going to press my luck again in case K decided to take out J's low. It didn't, and that's the afternoon pullback low, and that's the only, I didn't do any more. That was it. No more trades. As far as destinations, we have 403.18 today's high, 404.04 daily high, 406.08 daily high, and then the next critical level, 406.41 weekly high. And that'll be critical because we'll go over it when we do the charts. 411.08 10 wide for May 6th and 414.80 daily high. For the downside, we have 400.17 9 wide, E's low. 397.18 J's afternoon pullback. Today's low of 395.61, and then things get a little scary. 385.15, which is our weekly low and yearly low as of now. Why was I confident this market would rebound? Look at the volume we did here. Now, I know we did a lot more later in the day, but this was here all day. The indices were in our favor. We were up solidly all day. IB high, overnight high, POC up here. So those were the reasons where I was comfortable taking that trade. Not recommending it, but why I was comfortable. Now, let's go to the charts and break them all down, top to bottom. Starting with the little guy, Russell. Russell got to our target, our initial target, which was here. Remember? And again, see this line that's here? I didn't put this line in this week. This line was put in weeks ago, if not months ago, in here. I said this is a target. Once the market rolled over, this was a huge level, 173.39, because that's where the all-time high was, rolled over for 8 months, and then popped and got it. Well, guess what? We got it this month. Okay? So technically, the next big level is 153.67. I'm not saying we're going to get there. I'm not saying we're not going to get there. We are back above the 173.39, but it's still a monthly. Nothing's changed yet. We came out of a 4-month balance down. So the monthly is clearly down. This thing could rally up to 190. It doesn't mean the lows are in. Nothing will change until we take out a monthly high. So for now, the monthly is down. We got to my initial target. Now the question is, on these rallies, is it only going to be short cover and initially roll over again and then see what happens if we get down to 153? To be honest with you, and I'm going to go over this in SPY, I think there's a chance the market's going to try to find some balance on the weekly in all these things. And if that's the case, then we might stay above the 173 level until the next Fed meeting. So the monthly is down. Look at the weekly. Same thing. Look at this. I didn't realize there was a gap there. We didn't get it, did we? Nope. We have a gap at 165.71. So we never filled that gap. So here's the all-time high. Oh, no, it's not. That's the 170 level. So we're holding a gap still from back in November of 2020. Nice little hammer on the weekly. But again, nothing changes until we take out a weekly high. If we take out this week's high, then we come into balance. It'll be a 3-week balance. Now, I'm leaning. Again, I'm flat. I try not to be biased, but for my money's worth, it looks like the market hit some big targets to the downside. Never held single prints. You think that was important that we talked about? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Remember I said we can go $15 from K's low yesterday? We went $18. We nailed it. We nailed it all day today. So I'm leaning towards them maybe stopping the one-time framing in all these things on the weekly and putting it into balance. We'll see if that's going to be right or not. So the monthly's down, the weekly's down. The daily is in balance. It's a 4-day balance. Okay? 174.34. Did they hold the gap today? You know what? I didn't even realize that. Wow. Russell held their gap. Did not realize that. I just went back to the profile for a second. Q's in SPY and ES filled theirs. So, markets don't go bear bull. We're in balance. You want to call it's a 4-day balance. I would use today's high now as the top of the balance. Yesterday's low is the bottom. If you take out today's high on Monday, then I would go up in the daily on the Russell. But right now it's a 4-day balance. Okay? and they held their gap. So monthly is down, weekly down, daily balance. Let's go to triple Qs. Monthly, firmly down. Remember, what was our target? 297.45. Boy, did we get that and more. We went down $9 or $8 lower than that. Here's the next big level, and that's a big level. 266, 260 to 266. Now, we didn't get near it. Are we going to get near it on the monthly at some point? Very possible. Doesn't mean we won't rally first, but it's very possible we get to that 260, 266 level. Monthly is down for now. Weekly, same thing. Down with a nice hammer. Here's my next level on the weekly, 267. Does that mean we're going to get there? No. But does it mean we're going to get there before we stop one-time framing down? Of course not. Again, I'm looking to possibly take out this week's high and come into a 3-week balance. So monthly down, weekly down, daily balance. Now, they didn't hold the gap. They're in a 3-day balance. I think there's a good chance. You see all these 20-day moving averages coming down? I think there's a fairly good chance if we take out these weekly highs that I'm thinking that we're capable of, all three of these indices will go test their weekly high. Their 20-day moving average. So Qs are down monthly, weekly, balance on the daily. Now let's go to SPY. We hit our target, 398.18. Next big target, 371.88. We got within $14 of it. Another thing, we never went bear. 384 in SPY would put the S&P into bear territory. And just because we trade there doesn't mean you're in bear territory. You got to stay there for how many months? So we didn't even get to bear territory. Are we going to finally go and test it at some point this year? Probably. But we'll see. Next target, if we do go make lower lows, all those other targets I just gave you, Q's 260, Russell 153, SPY 371, you'll go see them if we make new lows this year. At least see them. So the monthly is down in SPY. Look at the weekly. Nice hammer. Now look, just because we closed up here, does that mean we're taking out this week's high? Of course not. Of course not. I'm going to give you the reasons why I think we're going to take out a weekly high. And we discussed this in the trading room for a long time. So here's the weekly. Here's your next big weekly target. That monthly low, 371.88. Again, these lines weren't put in 2 days ago. They were put in months ago. These are targets that I had that I thought the market could get to on big pullbacks. Now, let's go to the daily. Let's go to the daily. So here's the daily. 3-day balance. Wednesday's the high, Thursday's the low. Now, I want to stay on this for a little bit, and bear with me. I know this is a longer video, but I really hope it helps all of you guys and gals that watch this understand what I'm looking at and how I think the market acts. If we take out today's high, but fail to take out Monday's weekly high, right? Again, I'll just still be in balance. Now, I do think, and remember, balance rules are just, let me rephrase that. Balance rules are more important than gap rules for me. So if we take out Monday's high and Wednesday's high, there's a very good chance we're going to test I said Monday. If we take out Friday's high and Wednesday's high, there's a very good chance we'll test Monday's balance high. If we don't get acceptance or we don't get it, we're still in balance then on the daily. What I want to see is acceptance above it. Now, if we take it out, you're taking out the weekly high. Monday's high is the weekly high. If we do that, you see this day here? We talk about price vacuums. There's nothing except a 10-wide POC and that daily high all the way up at 414.80. Okay? Just like on the downside, if we take out today's low and get back into Thursday's range, there's nothing to the yearly low. But why am I thinking the odds, keyword, of getting into this day are better than this day? Well, here's the reasons. The market pushed all week, and we made yearly lows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yet we failed to hold single prints any day. That's number one. Number two, most major earnings, if not all, are out. Number three, we stopped the one-time framing in the daily. That's the first step. Number four, the Fed meets again in a month. So if we couldn't hold trend down and the selling started drying up towards yesterday in K's low, our sell, now look, I'm not ignorant. I fully know this is short covering and momentum buying. Believe me, I know that. And they could walk away on Monday and we go down and make a new low. But the market is still very short. See all this? Don't forget, we went from 450. This is April 21st, my friends, less than 3 weeks ago. We went from 450 to 385. We came in $65. We attempted to rally twice, failed, and came in. The market is still short. Very short. That's why I'm saying if we're able to get less this week's high, you will get more short covering because all these people are still in the money. And then there's a good chance to test 414.80, and by that time the 20-day moving average should be down around that level. That's why I'm saying, now look, I'm not going home long. I'm not going to come in Monday and say we have to do that and just play from the long side. I'm going to play what the market's telling me. But I'm just trying to give you guys and gals an idea because I do think there are swing traders in the market, and they know that the market's short. There might be a lot of swing traders who, on a day like today, went and took 415 calls for next week or 2 weeks out. So, again, we'll see what Monday brings, right? But for me, we would like to hold. If we take out today's low and not get much, I'm not worried. If we don't get acceptance back into Thursday's range and we just take out today's low and come back into the range and then eventually take out today's high, either Monday or Tuesday, I still think that scenario above holds. If we take out today's low and close below today's low inside of Thursday's range, well, then that scenario is probably not going to work. This is what we do in the room. We really dig deep into what's going on along with live trading all day. I can tell you that much. We're not just saying I'm long, I'm short, this, that. We're telling why. I mean, I probably recycled, even aside from those 250 calls, probably recycled another, 150 on the day. And every one of them made money based on MGI. So come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Thanks for the likes and subscribing to this video YouTube channel. Rest up. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.